In this video, I'm going to be going over how to make your own self-portraits using Stable Diffusion. And I'm going to assume that you already have Stable Diffusion installed. If not, I might go over that in another video, how to install Stable Diffusion. It's actually pretty simple. But we're just going to get right to it. And I'm going to go ahead and launch the web UI user.bat. So what you'll notice right off the bat is I have some already default settings set up. And it's just for like if I want to get on here and quickly generate an image. But I use the DPM++ 2M Keras sampling method. I've also got it set to 20 steps right now, but you can set it up higher if you want a little bit better quality. I found that using just between 25 and 50 steps is pretty good, pretty decent. And right now I've just got the default width set up to 768 and height 7 by 1024. And I'm using Excel. So all my models and lures I have upgraded to Excel recently because it's just much better quality. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate to you how you would go about making your own little self-portrait. So right now I'm using Real Vision V20, and it already has the V baked into it as well. But you can use any model that you like. Right now, I just feel like this one is one of the best ones for generating realistic portraits. Also, I use Stable Diffusion. And if you don't know how to use Stable Diffusion, it's actually pretty simple to use. I mean, the latent tile width, you'll basically take your width and you'll divide it by 8. Pretty much. And then that'll give you your latent tile width. And then you'll take your height and divide it by 8 as well. And that will get you your latent tile height. Now, I mean, I really don't have to use this right now. I have a decent GPU. I'm using that 3090. But if you don't have a decent GPU, you might want to use Stable Diffusion in order to generate larger resolution images, especially if you're using Stable Diffusion XL. So now we're going to get into it. Right now I'm using Reactor. This is basically Roop. It's the same thing as Roop. But if you don't have Roop, then all you have to do is go to the extensions over here, and then you will go to Available, and then you just click Load From, and all you have to do is just open up your Find tab, and just type in Roop, and there it will be, right there, Roop, and then you'll just hit Install. Then you'll go back up here, and you'll click Install, Apply, and Restart. And you might want to just go ahead and X out the whole thing and just restart it just so it has a fresh start to begin with. So let's say I wanted to make a portrait of Jenna Ortega. So I'm just going to use Jenna Ortega as an example. And, you know, this is a pretty good image of hers. So I'm just going to click on it. And all I'm going to do is just right click and copy the image. And then I'm going to paste it down here in Reactor, which will be Roop in your case. And I'm not going to enable it just yet. Before I do so, I'm going to generate a couple of images and see which ones I like. So basically you want to base it off of her characteristics. And when you're using Stable Diffusion XL, you don't have to be super complex about it. As long as you've got the style selector down here, which you can get this as an extra extension as well. Usually I'll pick something like Cinematic or Enhance. Cinematic usually works pretty good for photos. And then I'm just going to kind of lightly describe who she is. So I'm going to say woman with dark brown hair. And I'm also going to describe where I want her to be at. So do I want her to be in like a photography studio? Do I want her to be in an apartment? Do I want her to be in the city? Or do I want her to be at, so I'll just say, standing in a wheat field? So you got to kind of take what you see here and think of layers, right? So every time you put another prompt, that's another layer that you're adding to the system. And the AI uses those layers as information to distribute or generate the actual image that you want to see. So, and you can put, okay, I want depth of field, which it'll give you depth of field automatically with the cinematic style. But just to put it in there, just to give it a little bit more weight. And then you'll put portrait. And that's it. You know, unless you want to add more details, you can change what type of clothes she's wearing. So you could say, wearing a sundress, and you can even describe what color you want it to be. So you say, wearing a white sundress. And there you go. And if you want that to have a little bit more weight, then you would put that in the descriptor of the woman. So, woman with dark brown hair wearing a white sundress. Standing in a wheat field, depth of field, portrait. So I'm going to go ahead and generate the first image here and see if I like it. So you can see I'm getting exactly what I described. You don't have to have these huge descriptors with Stable Diffusion XL. In fact, you don't have to have a lot of these negative prompts either. That's why I'm using very few negative prompts, because the more negative prompts that you add to Stable Diffusion, the more information that you're taking away from the computer. He will not be able to use that information now. You're basically telling it, no, don't use this information. I'm going to generate another one so I get a more portrait looking picture. And you can see how realistic it looks already. Now, let's just say I like that one. If I like that picture, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the seed. And you can see that the seed is the same number as it is down here. And then I'm going to enable Reactor, which will be Roop in your case. And you can set the space restorability to whatever you want. Right now, I'm just going to keep it at 1. And I'm going to set it to GFP GAN. And you can experiment with these. I've just found that GFP GAN gives you the best results. So when I hit generate again, it's going to generate the same image, but it's also going to replace her face with Jenna Ortega's face. So, and you'll see it'll take a second when it loads up the plugin for the first time. And you can actually see what it's doing in the background here. And you can see it replaced her face with Jenna Ortega's face. And if you notice, you've got a little bit of a mark there where it put her face in. But, you know, if you want to kind of make her face blend a little bit better, you can take down the visibility. We'll just hit generate again. And you see it's a little bit better, but this is something that can easily be fixed within Photoshop, or you can actually fix it within Stable Diffusion. And if we go to the image to image tabs, we just want to send this to the image to image tab. And we're just going to make sure it has the same size, everything. And we can change the sampler if you want. We're going to bump the steps up just a little bit. And we're going to keep the strength down pretty low, or about 0.2. Keep the same seed, all that stuff. And you can actually add a refiner here if you want to. I'm not going to have any styles turned on. Don't want that affecting it. And tile diffusion, I'm going to keep that off for now. And you can also, you know, add her image again to Roop and have it regenerate, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to have it kind of go over the image and see if it kind of fixes this right here. So I'm just going to hit generate. And you're going to see it's going to make the image a little bit blurry. But you can see it added more detail to her skin. And it kind of took away that Jenna Ortega look, but it did fix the issue there. You can see it looks much better now. But it's that simple. If you want to create self-portraits, you can take a photo of anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. And you can add them. So let's say Emma Myers. I don't even know who Emma Myers is really, but let's just say we want to put her in here. And you know, she's more white. She's not like as tan as Jenna Ortega. So we're gonna put woman with dark brown hair. You can put white woman. Yeah, white woman or Caucasian woman, however you want to describe it. And now when I generate this image, it's going to replace their face. This girl here. But I want to find a different image first. I'm also going to turn this off. And hit generate. Now I want to replace her face. So all I got to do is re-enable the extension. And I'm going to put it back up to 0.9. And of course I didn't copy the seed, but that's fine. This image looks pretty good too. And you can see we've got her face now. And it looks pretty good. Pretty decent, actually. You know, and of course, if you want to add more detail to it, you would send it to the image tab. And we're going to take it down to like 0.25. Set the CFG scale to like 6. And we're going to go ahead and generate and see what kind of image we get from this. You can see it adds a little bit of extra detail to her skin, while as before it was kind of blurry. You can see a little bit more detail in the eyes. Although I don't think in this case it really fixed the eyes. I feel like it messed up the eyes more than anything. But that's another video I'll get into later on. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to make your own self-portraits using Stable Diffusion. And this is something that is completely on my computer. It's not something that I'm using a website for. So it's all private. I don't have to worry about a website taking my image and using it for profit or to train their own data or something like that. You're basically doing this all within your own parameters. You don't have to worry about people invading your privacy, which is good. Because, I mean, when you're working with images, sometimes you might be generating something that might not be so safe for work. But anyways, if you like this tutorial, make sure you like and subscribe. I will be making more tutorials like this. I'm also going to be making more deepfake videos and shorts. And I hope that you enjoy my content. And if you do, please let me know. And thank you very much for your time. Take it easy, guys.